the theater experience when you're watching something for the first time on the big screen, it's completely different. This is my church right here. I go on Sundays, I go on Mondays, I go on Tuesdays, I go whenever I can, and I praise cinema.
Hello and welcome to MovieTown. We are here at the Frida Cinema in downtown Santa Ana, and I am joined this month by Trevor Dillon, Director of Programming here at the Frida. Trevor, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So how long has the Frida been operating as like an art house, revival house?
We just celebrated 11 years in February, but the building has been a theater for 30 plus years.
And how long have you been programming here?
I've been programming specifically here since 2019. I started as a volunteer, as many of us do who work here. I'm newer to the art house scene, having been to kind of my first one in 2016, 2017. I know I sound so new there, but in 2018, I got a year of programming under my belt, and then 2020 hit, and so.
So was your, would you classify yourself as a cinephile starting to do art house stuff, or was that the start that then made you start discovering stuff at home?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in my early 30s now, but I feel like I got into movies around and people are gonna kill me online for this, but around when The Dark Knight came out. That would have been when I was 17, right? Yeah. That would have been a very impressionable time for me. And it doesn't hurt that then 2009 was a great year for cinema. I could name, a bunch of movies that came out then.
I want to talk about the month of May here at the Frida, because you guys have a really great slate. When you're planning out the month, do you try to take it, because I know some of your series kind of overlap across months. So are you trying to have a general theme to the month, or how do you even start?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't get asked this question a lot, so of course, just stop me because I'm gonna just ramble forever. But what you were saying about series going months, more than 1 month at a time. I actually don't do that very often, but it just so happens May has two of those. It has the A24 horror, A24 series, and then the Tarkovsky series. That's not common. What I really wanted to do there was get ahead of programming by booking these big, not festivals, but we call them festivals, but big series that then we can play the trailer for a couple of months, and they kind of build and they build and they build. And I figured if they went more than 1 month, then by the time we got to the last couple screenings, they would be packed, and that's turning out to be the case, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, I mean, we used to do a director of the month, we have to do a director of the month, and now we don't really do that so much. It's just kind of coming up with Becca, my marketing director and co-programmer. We'll just kind of maybe find it through a strained pun. You see a lot of our puns that come through are kind of eye-rolly, but they always help with the posters and stuff like that.
Hey, how are you guys? I do this film talk show called MovieTown about revival art house theaters in California, and so we're doing the Frida today. What are you guys here to see?
We're here to see what everyone else is seeing. Bodies, 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 Climax.
Okay, you get out to this theater a lot?
Always. Yeah. I'm here I have the membership here. I'm here once a week.
What was the last movie you guys all saw, each of you saw here?
I saw 2046.
Okay.
Fallen Angels. I saw Mirror by Andrei Tarkovsky.
Yeah, I was Fallen Angels. Yeah.
Was that Fallen Angels part of a Wong Kar-wai retrospective?
Yeah, it was.
And are you doing a lot of the Tarkovsky ones?
Trying to, if I got time. But
what kind of movie will make you get out to the theater to see it?
Honestly, they show so many good ones. I mean, I don't think there's a specific genre. It's just, classic ones.
Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson does it?
I need them to show Wes Anderson here. Yeah. They don't show any Wes Anderson.
Hey, we're now joined by Becca Phillips, head of marketing, some programming, social, graphic design, the woman behind the Frida.
You can say that.
How long have you been at the Frida?
So I started as an intern in 2022 or so, and then I got hired on to do social media pretty quickly after that.
Did you come from kind of the filmmaking side, more the pure cinephile side? How did you end up at this theater?
I was just I was obsessed with the theater. I came here for my birthday to see Fantastic Mr. Fox. And I was like, this is the coolest place ever, and I have to do an internship. So if I'm gonna do an internship, It's going to be someplace that I think is really cool. So I pretty much hounded our executive director and was like, please let me intern. I sent a bunch of emails, but it mainly came from more of a cinephile type of headspace, not necessarily from filmmaking.
Yeah.
I'm not good at any of that.
I mean, like, what's the percentage, like, you know, coming up in May, like, how many of the movies you think you've seen, and how many of them, like, how much of working here is like, oh, I get to see this in the theater?
It's a lot. It's a lot of, every month I like to go through and like circle what I want to see. For May, I think I've seen probably about maybe 60% of the calendar, possibly. But yeah, it's really fun to just be able to like see the movies themselves. Especially like last night we did Rio Bravo.
Oh, I love it, yeah.
And I've seen it like 700 times with my grandpa probably, like just on like the tiniest TV ever. So seeing it for the first time like on the big screen was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, John Wayne has a face, like who knew? That's crazy.
And when, you know, you said you first kind of got obsessed, you know, fell in love with the Frida, was it, you know, I guess I have an experience a lot when I go to like revival theaters. Something that like gets me is it's always like kind of a surprise or shock of like, wow, look how many people came out to see this movie. I'm wondering, is that like, because Santa Ana certainly doesn't pop off the radars. Oh, that's going to be where there's this great revival theater.
No, it's really cool what we're able to get away with and how many people we can get to come out for stuff. And even not just even like, you know, A24 stuff or, you know, the SpongeBob movie, anything like that. But even like we're doing Tarkovsky this month, and we did Andrei Rublev last night, and it had like over 60 people, which I was kind of like, all right, I'll take it. That's pretty good. So it is interesting that like I think it's one of those like if you build it, they will come type of things, where there's more people who want to see these things than I think we think about.
What's your name?
My name is Josue.
Josue, what are you here to see at the Frida tonight?
They're hosting the double feature, Climax and Bodies, Bodies, Buddies. I'm just interested in Climax just because the beginning dancing is like about 10 minutes, one shot. To hear that blaring in the theater is going to be worth all my money.
Have you seen either of those before or both?
Yeah, I've actually seen both, but I never got the chance to watch Climax in theaters.
I've seen both, and I'm recruiting them onto Climax. It's one of my favorite films.
Is Gaspar Noé one of your favorite filmmakers?
I've just seen that one and Enter the Void, and I like both of them.
Yeah, I like Enter the Void a lot too. You guys come here much?
This is my third time here.
What was the last movie you saw here?
I saw The Devil's Backbone, and then the first movie I saw here was Nosferatu with the Radiohead Kid A soundtrack. Big fan.
Oh wow, you're a fan.
I actually met my current husband out here in Costa Mesa, Santa Ana area. So the past couple of years that we were like dating, this is where all of our dates were typically.
What's been the best screening?
Probably Rocky Horror Picture Show, for sure.
Come on, you got anything else on the calendar you're seeing?
What's our next one?
Shrouds.
Yes, Shrouds.
My whole life is basically like my own personally curated, never-ending film festival.
Is this your first time at the Frida?
No. I was just here for, God, I've been here several times this month, but I just saw my first Tarkovsky movie. We watched Mirror, which was beautiful. It was amazing. I loved it, yeah.
What are you here to see tonight?
Andrei Rublev by Andrei Tarkovsky.
Have you seen other Tarkovsky movies here?
Seen everything but this one.
I really like to see Solaris. I've never seen it before.
First time ever seeing Tarkovsky.
In the theater or ever?
No, like ever. And we are Russians, so this is like our guy.
How many films in the Tarkovsky series?
Well, he only made 9 films, I think, so it's just all 9 films.
So you are showing all 9?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe, yes, we are playing every Tarkovsky.
So yeah, we're here tonight, Andrei Rublev shows, and then in May, it'll be Nostalgia, and then you guys end with Solaris.
Yes.
You know, I'm interested as a programmer, like, had you seen his entire filmography?
Yeah, that's a good question, because that is a director you can kind of find all 9 of his films. It's not super easy to find stuff like Nostalgia. I mean, when I was getting into movies like we were talking about. But now they are all available, and a lot of them have 4K restoration. That's the beauty of repertory cinema right now, is that people are not just coming to watch like the rips they watched. I probably shouldn't be talking about this, but some of the movies we downloaded, you know, growing up and stuff, they're not coming to watch that, right? We're not projecting that. We're projecting brand new 4K, like Mir, for example, turns 50 this year. And that was the impetus of that series, was being like, I think that Mir is Tarkovsky's best film. So my opinion sometimes makes it into the programming. But that was a great thing to be like, it turns 50 this year. Janus did a beautiful 4K restoration of it, so let's just do a full Tarkovsky restoration.
Yeah. And I know you said Mirror is your favorite. Where would you put the final film in your series? Sort of in the middle of his filmmaking, Solaris. Where would you where does that fit for you?
Solaris is top 3 Tarkovsky for me. It would go Mir, Stalker, Solaris. But if I came and watched Solaris on the big screen here, which I'd be lucky to, I would love to. It might change. That's the fun thing about these things, is even if someone has seen all 9 Tarkovsky movies, all of a sudden, film lovers love making lists, and they love ranking movies, and that's like the other part of the completist nature of a film lover, is coming to the thing and being like, I didn't really love The Sacrifice the first time I saw it, but let me go see it again. And then we have people walking out all the time being like, oh no, that's my new favorite Tarkovsky movie. It might be recency bias, but that's the goal here, is to Tarkovsky's not a great example because all of his films are great at a certain level, but when you do a retrospective of any form, whether it's a director or an actor or something, you want to play the movies as a programmer that you think need to be revisited on the big screen with the crowd, basically.
Yeah. No, the Solaris is, I don't think I've seen it on the big screen, but I do love I would really like to see that. I like part 1 of Solaris quite a lot.
Yeah.
I love the sort of briefing thing they're doing with the astronaut that's come back, that's in the past, and he's in the room watching this, and it's sort of black and white to give the sense of old, but it's still all future, and it's like, I find that whole sequence so compelling. It's what I think about even before the spaceship stuff, the space station orbiting the planet, but that one would be like a very fun one to get out for.
I think it has the best final shot in a movie ever. And the crazy thing is me then saying it's barely top 3 Tarkovsky, is like, this movie has the best final shot ever. And it's not even in my top 2 Tarkovsky, so yeah.
I like the card you guys did for the Tarkovsky with the films. When I had that card in my hands, it registered an instinct for me of, I want to complete this cycle. Have you guys ever done punch cards or sticker?
We like to ask, for tonight for the A24 stuff, I'll be like, who has come to Hereditary and The Lighthouse and the Witch, the first 2 things, and you'll see a lot of hands go up.
Yeah.
Once you get towards the end of the series, if you were in the Tarkovsky series, who has come to the first 7 films, it's probably not a lot of hands. It might be 1 or 2 though.
Is this your first time at the Frida? You guys here a lot?
Oh, I've been here very, very a lot, many, many times, like yesterday.
What would you see yesterday?
Andrei Rublev.
Oh, nice. And so you're coming to see, that's quite a difference. How many of the Tarkovsky movies have you seen in the retrospective?
All of them thus far.
All of them. Do they have a punch card that shows you've seen all of them?
Unfortunately, I wish they did. That would be a pretty good idea for marketing. They should write this one down.
I tried pitching this to Trevor, or maybe, marketing. I have a really great idea. I think for retrospectives, you need a punch card for people to show how many movies they've come to, and they get a little stamp. It could even be a stamp that's a stamp that signifies the movie. Like Solaris would be, a moon or spaceship or something.
Love that.
And then if you fill it up the whole way,
you get
get something.
Yeah. That's
so I'm just putting it out there.
No, that's genius.
I think it's.
You're hired.
I'm ready.
You're hired.
Yeah. Another screening that's, we talked about, or even when I was first kind of finding the Frida, one of the screens that jumped out to me is the Stop Making Sense dance party.
Yes.
And then I was so excited that you guys have this happening in May again too. Has this become a monthly thing, a quarterly? What is this now for you guys?
Yeah, in October of 2023, A24 restored that. It looked fine before, but they made it look better. We play it loud. It sounds amazing. And we played it as a week-long run. And we know what Stop Making Sense is. Obviously, it had done well when we'd played it previously, but now we do it monthly. And we were thinking about making it every 2 months recently, but people keep showing up, and it's it is my favorite thing we do. It is my favorite thing we do on a monthly basis. I love our Rocky Horror Picture shows. I love the room crowds, which are very respectable, great crowds. But Stop Making Sense is constantly bringing in new people because people are seeing the videos on our Instagram of people dancing. Like, we're in the theater right now where we always host it because we have to, because there's a lot of room up here to dance.
I mean, are people on their feet from the opening credits?
Well, there's just about 4 songs in is when it gets, because it opens.
What's the song that gets people off their feet?
Maybe Making Flippy Floppy maybe is the one. I think it's the 4th song. Yeah, but it's like it opens with Psycho Killer, which is kind of like just him on stage, so people are not like you know, which is a great song obviously, but they're not going to be like dancing. And then it goes into Heaven, which is a slower song. So it does take a few songs because it would be disingenuous for people to go and start dancing immediately.
And is it always on like a Saturday night, or does it change?
With The Room and Stop Making Sense in particular, we do move them Fridays and Saturdays, but we're learning all of them do better on Fridays than Saturdays.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then Rocky Horror is always on Fridays.
What's your favorite screening you've been a part of here?
So my favorite has probably been our Twilight Marathon. Every year we do a Twilight Marathon, and it is like off the chain. They go crazy. It's nuts. It's like Rocky Horror times like a billion.
Do you think it's going to have a shadow cast soon? Or?
That would be nuts. That would be literally nuts. But it's a lot of fun. Everyone dresses up. It's very silly. They're all shouting out the lines. We do Team Jacob, Team Edward slushies, you know, just a lot of fun stuff. So that one's been good. And then personally, as a selfish thing for me was we did a classic movie night screening of Philadelphia Story for my birthday, and it's one of my favorite movies ever. So of course, seeing that with like over 100 people in the crowd was crazy.
And I hear you might have a favorite, one of your favorite films in May playing as well.
Yes, I am. V or Vi, a Russian folk horror. Actually, it's a Ukrainian folk horror, just bonkers, off the wall. It was one of those movies that, like, the first time I saw it, I was like, boing, like, absolutely insane. I just love like corny practical effects. That's like my heart. So seeing these like bananas, trolls and demons and goblins, it's so up my alley. And I love her. She's so cool. She's riding him like a horse through the sky, like spanking him. So it's just going to be a bananas night. I'm really, that's probably what I'm most excited for with May.
So one of the things I really like that you guys do, you know, I know you have 2 of them in May, is like a Volunteer of the Month screening. Like, is that, do you always do like 1 or 2? Like, how does that happen? How does somebody get to the place where they've been a volunteer long enough that they get to do that?
We do 2 a month because we have a lot of volunteers and we have a lot of great volunteers, and it's like we only have 12 months in a year, and there's a lot of turnaround here with volunteers. A lot of them are younger and they're leaving for college or they're going to get a job. Yeah. So and that's fun for me because I get to it's fun to be given a list of movies, and then I get to pick the movie that might fit into the month's programming a little better. Might be good anti-programming for the month. You know, if it's October and we're playing all a bunch of horror movies and someone wants to play like an animated kids movie, perfect. Yeah. It's a great reason to be like, hey, our volunteer Diego picked this movie. And this is the reason why we're playing it, or it might even be a slightly more mainstream movie.
And do they give an introduction at the film?
They do. If they're there. I mean, every once in a while we do a volunteer that I play the movie a few times, and they don't even show up to watch the movie, and I'm like, you didn't even show up to watch your own movie. But our volunteers mostly are showing up, and they're justifying why they picked the movie.
How long have you been volunteering at the Frida?
It's been about a year since I started volunteering, but actually I've known about the Frida for a very long time. I've been coming since high school.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
What were some of the screenings like that you came in high school and like since then that kind of like made you a fan of the Frida and want to be a part of it?
You know, what's really funny is the first one that I remember going to was a Scott Pilgrim versus the World screening. Yeah. This is more when it was like less popular and it was more of like a cult movie, I feel. Yeah. And it was screening here. They would give away like garlic bread to people. And I've been a fan ever since. And we would make it a tradition to go, me and my friends, we'd go to Rocky Horror, which we do every month.
2 Volunteer of the Month screenings in May are Preston is doing In Bruges.
Yeah.
Do you know Preston?
I do know Preston, yes.
Will you go support his In Bruges screening?
Oh, yeah. And
have you seen In Bruges?
I haven't seen it, but I've seen Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh, yeah, you got to go.
I like Martin McDonagh.
It's my favorite of his movies, for sure. And then the other one is A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
Yeah, which I have seen.
Okay.
brilliant. Yeah.
And so do you guys try to go support each other's picks, like the volunteers?
Yeah. If we're like usually like we all try to support each other's picks. I like if we're good friends, then they'll let everybody know like, hey, like this is my screening. This is the one I'm gonna go to, and yeah, usually we'll try to support each other's screenings for sure. Yeah.
And what's been the best screening you've been to since being a volunteer?
Ooh, that's a good question. Actually, my personal one for me that I think is really funny is I just got my license like last year, and we played like a Spielberg movie on 35 millimeter, and it ended up being Duel.
Oh yeah.
So I always think it's funny. It's like, oh well, that's like the Jaws of driving.
How long have you been volunteering?
Like about a year and a couple months.
Have you screened like a volunteer of the month? Have you done one of those volunteer of the month screens?
Yeah, I think it was last December.
Oh, so what was your pick?
Yeah, I screened Mishima, Life in Four Chapters. Oh, wow. It's one of my favorite like movie scores of all time.
Okay.
I'm really like a big fan of that. Philip Glass did the movie score, and it's just a wonderful film and like perfect to me in all ways. Like the acting. I think like the cinematography and set design is some of the best I've ever seen, and a lot of people turned out for this.
Really,
so
yeah.
It was a really great time. I had a friend that flew down just to see it.
Everybody that comes here just really likes film.
Yeah.
And everybody just has a love for it, and I just like how like community-based this whole program is.
Do you remember the first movie you came and saw here?
The Truman Show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I came and watched it with a friend, and I just like fell in love with the theater. I love the illustrations we have right here. You see like the murals and everything. It's just. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's a cool theater. What's been the best screening you've seen here?
After Paul Rubens died, they premiered Pee-wee's Great Adventure, and I came and watched that.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Was that the first time you'd seen it?
No,
okay.
It wasn't. I came dressed up as Pee-wee too, so
oh, nice.
It was a really great experience.
Tell me about these PowerPoints you do, PowerPoint presentations you do before classic movies.
It's me in my TCM era where I'm very like serious about it. But I'm just like, I'm a grandma girl. Like I grew up with my grandparents all the time. So I've seen like every classic movie ever. I'm obsessed with them. It's the whole vibe. So it's just really fun. I'll usually, prior to classic movie nights, we pick them 4 at a time, and then I make the presentations for them, and I usually get the information by listening to audiobooks, like biographies or autobiographies.
And then you show that you sort of give this presentation before the screening?
Yeah, before the screening. So I'll say like kind of how it was made.
And like how long is the presentation?
I try to keep it like 15 minutes.
Wow, so they could get like some serious history.
Yeah, and I'll try, and it really does depend on the movie. Like some are, I'm hoping like, because we will do it eventually, like when we do Baby Jane, that'll probably be a long one because I'm gonna have to go into the Bet-Joan feud. But it just kind of depends. So yeah, they're usually like 15 minutes. It's fun facts, how they cast it. Our last were 4 Howard Hawks movies.
Oh, you love
so now
Howard
I know
Hawks.
Everything about Howard Hawks.
Yeah.
I've listened to like 20, but like 3 audiobooks back to back where I'm like,
and then so what movies
this guy.
in May are you going to be doing presentations beforehand?
So it'll be The Night of the Hunter.
Yeah.
And then June is All About Eve, kind of like our Pride Month pick because it's camp.
Yeah.
We love it. July is Top Hat,
Okay.
Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers. And then August for Hitchcock's birthday is Rebecca. Which is my favorite
nice.
Hitchcock movie.
Yeah.
And not because it's my name. That's what I'm always like, it's of course my favorite, but that's definitely my favorite Hitchcock, so that'll be fun.
Well, Becca, thanks so much for taking the time out,
Of
joining
course.
us, and having us here. This has been great. Thank
Of course,
you.
thank you so much.
Yeah. You know, you guys are showing Ron, the Kurosawa movie from '85, one kind of considered his last masterpiece. And so it's the 40th anniversary of that. Is that a situation where the distributor has reached out to you because there's like a new print or a new 4K restoration for the 40th? Like,
yeah.
Is that kind of situation?
Typically that is the situation, but I've been wanting to play Ron forever.
Yeah.
So when 2025 hit, I knew it was the 40th anniversary. So I reached out to them, and then they have like exclusive engagements around the country at different times of the year. So when the Orange County exclusive engagement is happening, it's not playing anywhere else. Not that it would really affect ticket sales, but it allows Rialto, the distributor, to then send us customized posters, send us customized trailers. We've been running that trailer for like a month, so it should be a big hit for us.
Oh yeah, it's an incredible trailer.
Yeah.
And have you done a Kurosawa retrospective?
Well, you mentioned that, and it's funny, I was going to do a full retrospective in May.
Yeah.
That knocked that loose in my head. That's where the idea started. We were going to do a full Kurosawa retrospective, but a good number of his films are not available right now, but they will be available in September.
Okay.
So I'll do a full retrospective without Ron in September.
What would be the other, like your most excited gets for that?
Seven Samurai just got a brand new 4K restoration last year, and that was packed when we played it here. So I would usually say, of course, I want to play it, but we've already played it, so I'd be less excited by that. I love High and Low. That's my favorite. And I know there's actually a remake coming out.
Yeah.
Spike Lee directed it. So that'll be cool to kind of, off of that hype, play High and Low. Because a lot of people think...
It'll bring a lot of people to the movie, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people think Samurai when they think of a Kurosawa retrospective, and there will be a lot of Samurai films. A lot of feudal Japan, but then I love that High and Low is like this contemporary crime noir, and that's...
I love Stray Dog. Is it Stray Dog or Dogs?
Yeah, Stray Dog, I think.
Yes,
yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, we just did a double feature of the Bad Sleep Well and Stray Dog, and that was like a few months ago, so we were already in the Kurosawa mix. Talk about a long double feature. That was a long one. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, Trevor, thanks so much for having us out and making the time. This was great.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
What are you here to see tonight?
Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Is it a double feature?
It is a double feature, but we're only seeing the first one because we're old.
We gotta work tomorrow.